They've asked me for a report, an analysis of my transfiguration. But I can't. It's impossible. What you're about to hear isn't some objective account. It's more like a map of an interior wasteland, drawn from memory, my memory. So let's just get this straight, right from the beginning. This isn't for some dusty file. This is my testimony. It's the story of a journey from which I never really returned, at least not as the same man who left. It all started in what I call the City of Glass, a place of these perfect, gleaming surfaces. And me, I was just a fractured mirror in a frantic theater of the self. This whole performance, this elaborate mask, the psychologists, they'd have a name for it. They'd call it the ego. My ego was that architecture. A gilded cage, for sure, but, it was a convenient one. It was a shelter I built for myself out of polite lies, and I furnished it with the wax fruit of what everyone else expected from me. It looked good on the outside, this carefully polished identity, but inside, inside it was just a place of slow, quiet, respectable decay. I'd made a trade, you see, without even realizing it. I'd swapped the lightning strike of a raw, genuine existence, that feeling of mountain frost on your skin, for the dim, steady, and boring lamp glow of just surviving. I chose safety. And the price was my own soul. I was living out this paradox. It felt like a terminal sickness of identity. Every single motion on the outside was perfect, every ritual of my life done with absolute precision. But on the inside, the spirit had already died. The cage was immaculate, but the bird was long, long gone. And so I left. I just had to. I abandoned that pristine abbey of the ego and I plunged straight down, right into the basement of my own psyche. It was a place I never even knew existed until the floor just gave way beneath my feet. This was the realm of the id, that raw, primal self I'd kept locked away for so long. There is absolutely no other way to describe it. All the familiar architecture of my mind, my memories, my very sense of who I was, it all became alien, uncanny. It was my own home, but it felt terrifyingly unhomely. It was my own self staring back at me like a total stranger. Down there, in that underworld, every protection I'd ever built was just stripped away, gone. A forest of what I can only call stone trees grew up around me. These jagged, physical shapes of every repressed memory, every trauma I had refused to face. And beneath all of that, a raw, primal energy was finally exposed. And right there at the center of it all, I found it. My id. And it wasn't some kind of monster. No, it was a daemon of truth, this dark sentinel in a temple made of black volcanic glass. It didn't say a word. It just showed me, with these void eyes, all of the internal decay, all the ugly, ignoble knowledge I tried so hard to hide. The revulsion I felt, it was gut level. It was absolute. To survive this place, I knew I had to change. There's a philosopher, Nietzsche, who talked about 3 metamorphoses of the spirit. I didn't know it then, but I was about to live them. A war against the void had begun, and I was the battlefield.
So, first, I became the camel. I knelt down and I accepted the cold, industrial weight of the truth. No more lies, no more cages. Just the full, heavy reality of my own internal decay, the original catastrophe of just being. I carried those fractured mirrors of my past through a searing silence, and I refused to ask for absolution.
And then, just as I was getting used to the weight, the indigo night of my soul was completely torn apart. The wild hunt arrived. This terrifying spectral procession of my own superego, that internal judge, the voice of all the rules I'd absorbed, and it was led by the red specter. This specter, it offered me a crimson gift. It demanded a return to nothingness, to the inorganic, declaring that my entire existence was just static, a disturbance that needed to be hushed. And in that exact moment, the camel's patient spirit thickened, and it became predatory. The second metamorphosis. I became the lion, and I roared the fiercest, most defiant no I could summon against the spirit that always negates. That battle, it pushed me deeper, right to the very heart of that subterranean temple. And there, I had to face the final test, the choice of the hourglass, the trial of what's called amor fati. The guardians of this place, the shadow saviors, they presented me with this crystalline hourglass, and inside it was my entire history. Then they asked me the question, Could I choose to relive it all? Every single failure, every stupid error, every moment of agony. Not just once, but forever.
This was it, the ultimate test. It has a name, amor fati. It's Latin for love of one's fate. It's this challenge to take radical responsibility for your own existence, to affirm everything that has ever happened to you, the good, the bad, the horrific. To truly love the bottomless pit of your own mind, or to just give up and beg for the grace of the abyss.
I gripped that hourglass like it was lightning itself, and with every single ounce of the lion's fire still burning inside me, I gave my answer. Yes. And in that instant, the red specter's logic of 0 was shattered, and it was transformed into a triumphant logic of 1.
I came back up from the Psyche's basement, but I didn't emerge into the gilded cage. I emerged into the world, changed. This was it, the final transfiguration, the third metamorphosis.
The lion became the child, a completely new beginning. I was dancing on the shattered remains of my old masks, on all that dross of vanity. I wasn't a mirror reflecting other people's expectations anymore. I was a self-propelled wheel, generating my own values, my own source. A sovereign of my own soil. A holy fool, finally wise enough to be free.
And I learned something so crucial in that moment. Those stone trees, my traumas, they didn't just vanish. They weren't shattered. They were transfigured. They became the dark, strong foundation that I built a new integrated life on. You see, nothing is ever truly lost if you choose to grow from it.
So now, I stand as ongoing proof against absolute negation, a light that generates its own source. This journey, it doesn't really end. The testimony isn't over. It's just me, walking forever into that mountain frost with my eyes wide open.